Hey, what's going on? You know who it is. You know what it is. All right, you guys. Just got back from the movies a little while ago. I went and seen the movie National Championship, and I have to say that was a really good movie. Really enjoyed the movie. Really uh, got a lot out of it, But this movie basically talks about something that I've been discussing, and we all have been having this conversation about the whole student athletes. Should athletes be compensated for their hard work and what they contribute to collegiate sports in general? And y'all already know my answer to that. Absolutely yes. If not, they should somehow, some way be at least able to at least sell their likelihood, or at least loan out their likelihood, at least be able to make some type of financial dividends from, basically giving their all for college sports. Now, back in the day, there was this argument about, well, you're getting a free education and all that kind of jazz. And I think that terminology is long played out, especially when you got billions of dollars exchanging every year in behind collegiate sports where the athletes get nothing. And the movie talks about, well, basically a guy by the name of LaMarcus James, who is a black quarterback, who is expected to be the #1 overall pick. And he decides to boycott and go up against the NCAA for what he feels is basically, slave labor. And a lot of different subjects pop up. The whole slavery thing, as Colin Kaepernick talked about in his TV series. A lot of things popped up about, how much the coaches make, and, how college athletes are treated. Basically, everybody else can exploit them and make money off of them but them. Basically the whole, if they, if somebody buys them a pizza and they accept it, they could be kicked out of school, which I think is absurd. I do think you should be able to make some type of money. And I do think that they should be paid. I've been saying this for the longest. When you got billions of dollars get made off college athletes and they don't see a cent, and then you had the audacity to tell them they not only are not getting paid, but you tell them they can't even make money off their own likelihood. And it's a con, it's a fraud, it's a scam. And I do think that to a certain degree that a lot of those collegiate athletes are treated like high-priced slaves. The whole NFL, the whole draft and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not finna argue with you about this shit. And I can't wait for somebody to come on here and say something smart so I can go the fuck off on your ass and block you. So just, get your comment in, get your smart remark in so I can block your ass. Because I'm going to love doing it. But most of the people do agree that, you just can't get away with that anymore. The whole you getting a free education. That worked 30 years ago. That worked 30 years ago. When guys like Barry Sanders and Deion Sanders was coming out of college, going into the NFL in the Jerry Rice days. But now nobody's trying to hear that. And I do like the fact that this man, to a certain degree, he goes all out. And this guy stands on his circle. And that's what I like about the LaMarcus James character. Now, of course, they have to add the salt and pepper thing to it, but that's okay. That's okay. But at the end of the day, this dude character, LaMarcus James, he stands on his circle, and they try to throw I don't want to tell the movie and give away the movie, but they throw everything at him, from trying to dig up his past, trying to demonize him. a lot of the stuff that go on in this movie is what they do behind the scenes and what they do in real life to these athletes, especially if you're outspoken and you have an opinion other than just talking about what's going on the field, you know. And then you kind of look at the current situation we have now with the whole Kyrie Irving thing, and you know, the hypocrisy with the media about trying to tell, you know, and particularly black athletes when and what they should speak about. You know, now they want every black athlete to tell other black people, you know, what to put in their body. But then when it comes to telling black people to, you know, fight against racism, white supremacy, oppression, police brutality, then they say, well, we feel like, you know, athletes shouldn't talk political views or they should just remain quiet. But then they want these athletes to tell people, you know, see, the hypocrisy, it just talks about a lot of different things. And then it talks about how sometimes they will send somebody like you that look like you to try to call themselves being a Negro whisperer. And they'll try to hit you with the, I went through what you went through. But at the same time, they say something to prove that they're not really down for you, that they're, at the end of the day, they're a company person. But they will try to use, this, you know, dialect that they think you can relate to, basically be a Negro whisperer. But at the end of the day, they're basically still regurgitating the words that they was told to say by their white bosses. But then the person will eventually reveal themselves as being, you know, what they are, a company person. Just like they had this bed wench lawyer talking about, well, I know what it's like. And then they'll try to say, well, if you start getting paid, what about the smaller programs like soccer and volleyball? Who gives a fuck? Nobody don't care about that shit. So, like, but like I said before, man, it's a very interesting movie. I dug it. I dug it. Like I said, a lot of questions was asked and revealed, and this further makes me turn my nose up at the NCAA, because I already knew how they got down anyway, and this just verifies like what they do behind the scenes. What they try to do to you if you go against the grain and if you don't follow a script, and how they tried to dig up dirt on this dude. They tried to do all kind of shit to this dude, but I give him credit. He stood strong. He stood strong. But I recommend this movie, man. It's a really good movie. Also, it is co-produced by Russell Wilson, the NFL player. And Malcolm Jenkins has a cameo appearance in this as well. So, you know, and they speak on Colin Kaepernick. They speak on a lot of different things pertaining to professional football. So, like I said, man, it's a really cool movie, man. I recommend it, though. I really recommend it. Anyway, this your boy Town Biz. I'm out.